There's Phil. Are we on? Are we live?
We are live.
We got her. She's in.
How are we doing?
Hello, everybody. This is, of course, Russ Batinsky, and I'm here with Marilyn. And, of course, now joining us, Sidekicks Paranormal, is the one and only Hank. Phil Adams is with us, who's going to be joining us on some adventures, which is going to be great having him here. And, of course, our special guest today is the one and only Medium. Honestly, she's not even a medium. She's more like an extra large. She's a venti if you were to go to Starbucks. Let's be real. Sarah, I don't want to mispronounce the last name, but I think it's Lemos.
We will bring her on and let her see.
Yep. Let's go ahead and bring her in.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to share this to my Facebook really quick.
So, Sarah, how do you say your last name so that way we don't butcher it?
It's Lemos.
Lemos.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
Lemos.
Russ was right.
That's right.
Love your
Wow.
guy.
So this is pretty awesome having you on. I'm super excited. I don't know, you didn't get a chance to meet Phil, but Phil did not come with us to Louisiana because he's afraid of sharks. I try to tell him there's no sharks. It's alligators there, but he just says it was too close to sharks.
Yeah, it's close. It's very close.
So they're swamp sharks.
Yeah. So, Sarah, how long have you been doing the whole psychic? Well, I know that it's something like you're kind of like naturally gifted at. You're kind of born with it. You know, maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe she's born with it. But
Yeah,
like, when did you decide I want this as a career?
Oh, I would say in my 30s. In my 30s is when, so I was definitely gifted as a kid, but when I hit 30, it's when I decided this was it.
Wow, so you just started.
I wish. Thank you for that. I appreciate that more than I can say. It's been a while.
Yeah. So what was so you've been tapped for some TV shows too, right?
Yeah, I've done Ghost of Morgan City, which was out of Louisiana. I did Ghost Town Terror, 2 seasons out of Montana. I did Conjuring Kesha, and I did Portals to Hell. I did about 6 different Portals to Hell with Jack Osbourne and Katrina.
That's kind of like my bathroom situation right now.
Portals to hell.
Yeah.
Literally.
On my so I guess I should tell. I'm currently doing the reason why I look like this is I am currently in a motel. I've been living in a motel for the last month.
Why?
So we bought a new house, an old house, but built in 1962 in Boulder City. We moved from Vegas to Boulder City, which is right next to the Hoover Dam. It's beautiful.
Wow.
It turns out we knew that the plumbing was cast iron and was corroding.
Okay.
So we were like, okay, shouldn't be too bad. We should be able to work with this. No. It turns out that the previous owners had clogged everything with grease. So when my wife turned on the, what's the thing that goes, garbage disposal?
Yeah.
It started to rain water over our roof out into our balcony. So we were like, that's not good. Come to find out that basically it's so corroded and eroded down there, like it was like a natural log ride. Okay, there's nothing there. Okay, it's you squirt and it's dirt. That was it. So they've wound up $60,000 later. They've tore up our whole house is tore up. Their concrete's been tore up, and tearing up the concrete, they accidentally cut an electrical cable, almost set our house on fire. We've gone through 2 different restoration companies. They are yet to do our plumbing because even though they've come and cut the concrete, they keep forgetting to cut one piece of concrete over and over and over again, which is the main piece that both the electrician and the plumber need. So they're trying to get that fixed right now. So we're going on a month.
Wow.
So when he says portals to hell, he's literally right.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I'm so sorry.
And so we've got a hey Melissa, hey Kim, OMG, you're still there. Yes, I am still here, Lacey. Melissa says hey, and Betsy says hey Phil, and Annie Water says good evening, my darlings.
Yay!
And Kelly says she loves that you are on. Kelly, you have the craziest last name, Kelly. Zerwez Hapala. I'm not sure how you say that. Let's see if I can get the chat up. Oh, there it goes. Paranormal Pixie says she has great sympathy. It sucks. So, back to your portals from hell. when you were filming, when you have to go through that as a psychic, I always think it's going to be like for a paranormal investigator, it's a lot of setup, it's a lot of takedown, but I feel like for a psychic, like Marilyn, especially like when we film, I feel like it's a lot of hurry up and wait. Like there's all this setup, and here you are stuck, probably getting some impressions initially, but I assume they kind of can come and go, right? So it's not like something you can just turn on.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's much different doing it on television because it is hurry up and wait, and then you are being talked to by the different energies in the space, and you're having to remember everything that's being said so that you can, tell everybody what you've heard. So it's not easy. It's very different.
And is there some times when like they will tell you, hey, can you key in on this? Can you say that again? Can you put more emphasis into it? Can we, cut, reshoot?
Yeah, and my answer is always, here it is. So I give it the way I get it, and that's the way I share it. So that's just the way I work.
I think, hi, Michaela. I think that's phenomenal. And I think that is, so I'm trying to do some filming in Virginia City, and they've had a paranormal investigating group there. I'm not going to mention the name because it's not really important, but they were, they really wanted to push a very specific narrative, and the people that were trying to do, they narrative and what they were saying in a certain direction to kind of fit the mold of their show, right? And it was so unwelcoming to them that they were like, well, we don't want to do any more shows, but they're going to make an exception for little old me because I'm about as harmful as a fruit fly when it comes to that type of stuff. But do you when you go back and you watch, I don't know if you ever go back and you watch any of the shows that you're on, but you go, hey, I don't remember it coming out quite like that.
No. Anytime I've watched it, I just, I'll go back and watch something and I'm like, oh, I remember that. And it was scary. Or I'll remember that. And that was startling. Usually because that's how I work, is an emotion. So if I go back and watch something, then it stirs more of an emotion than thinking. It's more of like, oh yeah, I felt that way, or I experienced this.
That's interesting. Marilyn, you might have a couple of cents on this too. Would you say, like when something hits, right? Is there always an emotion attached to it or not?
For me, not always. It's there, but I don't always feel it. Sometimes It just depends on how strong it is.
And what about you, Sarah? What about you?
So I'm all physical when it comes to emotion and actually how someone crosses. So when someone, a spirit on the other side comes to me, I connect how they physically died by actually physically feeling it. So again, for me, it's more of that's just how I work. I'm a feeler. That's what I do. So I feel things.
Wow. Okay. Phil, what about you? You're psychic.
I am not psychic. However, when we went to Deadwood, we had the opportunity to go down to the basement. And
We did.
Marilyn, I know that you and I had several conversations, and I just was absolutely sick to my stomach. She told me, walk outside, come back in, see if that helps. And I just had to deal. I've only had another experience like that, and that was when I was a police officer, and
Wow.
there were shots fired. So
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. We had a pretty crazy time up in Deadwood, and that was my first. Deadwood was like my first paranormal investigation, and the first thing that I do is the Estes method with Shane, and I get on the thing, and I have a great conversation. It was really incredible. I obviously don't know what the questions were, but I was told it was a fantastic conversation. We leave. And then apparently the next group that went on to do the Estes method, they had whoever they were talking to had asked for me back. Is that right, Marilyn?
Mm-hmm. They
Wow.
Yeah.
We came in as a second group. They were asking for his name and trying to call him back in. They wanted to continue talking to him.
So at the end of the night, that's right. At the end of the night, like 3 a.m, I went back to that same location. I think that was
yeah, you did.
the Bullet Hotel.
Yes, you did.
And then just to kind of communicate, and I don't know, do them. So I'm like, hey, if you want to, come back to the room and hang out, let's,
Come
come on.
224 with me and Phil.
And Marilyn was like, no, stop. So, and then I was like, oh, I guess you can't. So sorry, you guys stay here. But I was like, I'll be back, and then we could chat some more then. So, so I guess there's obviously a learning curve to, I'm sure even a greater learning curve to being a psychic. Have you ever had things try to follow you home?
Yeah. So I brought things home from Ireland. I was blessed to go over to Ireland and do some paranormal tours over there and go to some of the most haunted locations in Ireland. And yep, I accidentally, brought something home with me, which I had a dear friend help me really quickly deal with it.
Wait, the friend was a deer?
No. I had a dear friend help me.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Continue. I'm sorry.
That's fine. And so they were able to help me remove this energy and send it back where it needed to go. But yes, I have brought home things with me before. Yes.
Have you ever had anything?
Your most exciting location that you've done?
Ever?
Yes.
Oh, holy cow. That's the most. For me, it was actually, I would say one of my most favorite was in Louisiana in the bayou itself. We were on an island, and the things that I experienced there from another type of energy, the Fae, was quite interesting. Having things thrown at me, literally logs
Holy crap.
picked up and thrown, had crazy experiences. And so I would say that's one of my favorite, scariest and favorite.
So I was going to say, what was your scariest, but I guess you just answered it.
Yes.
Dang.
So do you have any places that you would just say, absolutely not, you will not go into?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm broken that way. I don't think that there is a place that I would say no to. I would, I guess I should say maybe the second time around I'd say no to it if it was a bad experience. But honestly, no, I think there's, I would check out any place.
So my kind of woman, that's the same thing, is like, you got to experience it.
I'm excited to see what you guys throw me into in Virginia City. So
it'll probably be a fire pit.
Oh, that sounds hot.
Yeah, I agree. I would go just about anywhere, though I would currently avoid my bathroom. That it's not great.
Yeah.
And it is scary.
Any place that you really, really like bucket list want to do?
Asylums. Asylums. I think that asylums will have a lot of residual energy, and I'm interested in that. In that, I really am.
Okay.
We definitely need to chat when all this is done.
Yep.
I have something in mind that I think you would absolutely love.
Have you been to Trans-Allegheny?
I have not.
What is that? 'Cause that sounds like
it's an insane asylum.
Yeah, I've only watched it on television.
Yep. In Virginia.
sounds like
And
Constantinople.
to what?
Like it's such a weird word, you know, like Constantinople is a weird word. You know, it's Istanbul, not Constantinople. It's Trans-Allegheny, you know? It's just a strange word to me.
It is. So it is a very intense place. And it used to be it was an insane asylum, but it was also a place where for people at the time homeless or they lost family members or anything like that, they would house them there. So you have these sick people running around with your everyday normal people, and it was just crazy. And they had down in the surgery areas, they did lobotomies. And down there, that's one of the few places that I actually had to walk out of because that was the emotional for me. It was so overwhelming.
I can only imagine.
So yes,
Josh Purvis is in. He says, Phil, and says, what's up to everybody? And then we have West Virginia. It's fantastic. We'll definitely have to check that out. Mark Ortiz says, hello, beautiful people. And we also have, I wanted to see this comment. Jamie Lynn Keller says, I love seeing Sarah on my TV. Such an amazing personality off screen. So this is the part of the show where we do the spirits for the spirits.
Oh,
so we forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
Do you have alcohol?
I don't drink, but I have water and there's ice in it.
There you go.
That sounds great. I also picked like this weird trick. There we go. So I have with me, I had some last week. It is Buchanan's Pineapple Whiskey.
Oh,
that sounds good.
It's good, but boy, does it pack a punch. Let's see, I'll get a little bit closer.
Wow. He gets a little tipsy on that one. So
yeah, this one, it packs a little bit of a punch. I was surprised at the zing. It's got the zing, you know. Joshua Purvis's Haunted Rock Island Roadhouse. Isn't that where they filmed with what's Patrick Swayze?
I don't think so, but you never know.
Oh, that's just Roadhouse.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Phil, did you get a drink? Mine is actually Fireball. That's my go-to.
I don't drink anymore, but
do you have anything to drink, you weirdo?
Water?
Let me get a protein. Hold on.
This guy.
Hey, it's his first time back, so we'll give him some space on that.
Karen Huntley is here from Australia. It's a bit early to be doing drinking. Probably because it's morning there.
Well, you can have coffee or tea.
Or some water.
Or some agua, good old-fashioned agua. And now they've got the hydrogen water. That's pretty cool, right? There we go. Cheers.
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 So, Sarah, when we first met,
yes,
I didn't.
So you choke on. We do the hard stuff and he chokes.
Sorry, honey, that's not funny. I'm sorry.
So you had your booth, we had our booth. I went around in a goat costume. I never got a chance to I felt it was weird because I never got a chance to come up and say hello. I don't even know, Marilyn, did you get a chance while we were doing the vendor?
Our table was so busy.
Yeah, you were very busy. And I didn't want to be like that douchebag that just kind of cuts people off. Like, I just want to say hi. You know, because it's not that important, right? Eventually, the hope is that I'll get a chance to say howdy, right? And besides, I had to pester Shane. You know what I mean? That's a very important job I take seriously.
Absolutely.
TV's Payne Shipman. Anyway.
That's true.
So, yeah, Marilyn, gonna have your hands full in VC with the both of them. It's true. But we did get to meet at the sushi place.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Sat right beside you. He forgot about that.
what's that?
She sat beside you at the sushi place.
She wasn't.
No, I was across the way.
Were you
Yeah.
across? Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you were. No, that was Connie.
Connie sat beside me. Yeah. And didn't drink. Yeah. Which is like a first for Connie. If anybody knows Connie, that was like, oh, like, who are you? So that was it was a big place. It was a pretty interesting meal. I've never had Louisiana sushi before. I don't know that I will again. For some weird reason, I was expecting alligator to be on the menu, but it wasn't. Connie, there she is. It was me. Yeah. And she did you drink? Oh, you did have a little bit though. Yeah, that's true. You did. So when you got a chance to kind of finally have like some first impressions of us, I mean, how did that go for you? Were you like these guys, these MFers?
Oh, I love your guys' energy. Absolutely love your guys' energy. You know, there's and can I say that I got to see a little bit of what you're working on? Can I say that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I thought it was just great. And it's so I loved meeting both of you. Your energy is just amazing. And you know, and again, like I got to see a little bit of a clip. So I felt very honored and really thought that was cool.
Yeah, that was it's really interesting too, because Marilyn and I, we had this conversation after meeting you, because I've met a lot of psychics at this point, you know, or mediums, or whatever they want to go with. And honestly, all of them have just been fantastic people and are great. But I think we both came to the agreement that we had not met someone that was at a level of which that we feel that you have reached.
Thank you.
I mean, it really kind of blew us away. And, you know, we talked a little bit, and you kind of stunned me, because what we had discussed was not something that I've ever had made privy to anyone, because I've never felt like it was anybody's problem, you know, but my own. So to me, that just means you internalize it and you keep it there, right? So that was really incredible. So we're really excited to do some stuff with you moving forward. And you do offer psychic readings, right?
I do, yes. So my 9 to 5 is psychic readings and education. Because when I came into this,
like math,
I teach metaphysics.
Oh, okay. I was saying, because I'm not good at math.
Either am I, sweetheart.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm from Vegas. The closest thing that I've got to that would be mathematics.
Downtown, yeah.
Right? I mean, you know. So, do you have a website that people can go to that are watching that might want to?
It's on the ticker.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
mediumsaralemos.com.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, would you have any projects coming up?
Currently, right now, I'm really focused on my education program that I teach, which is a 6-month program. And I'm updating a lot of that and doing a lot of filming my own stuff for that. And then really, even though there's the whisper that TikTok is going away, I've been doing a lot of time and attention on the TikToks. So just doing that kind of stuff. You know, the TV production is really slow right now.
Yeah.
So it's just riding the wave and see what happens.
And before we go any further, Connie, if you're still there, I need to give you a quick shout out. She was our guest last week, and things kind of got weird. And I just want to clarify to the Kling brothers that we in no way had a terrible time at the Lone Star. It was an amazing time. We did the Lone Star Paracon, and I razzed them a little bit because we came in late, so we couldn't do like some of their VIP stuff. It may have rubbed some people in a negative way, but it was not meant to. So I've talked to the Kling brothers just to let them know we loved it. We really want to be back next year. It was a massive event. The turnout, right, Marilyn, was huge at the event. So if anybody's going to Texas next year, save your money to plan the trip. Go to the Lone Star Paracon. It was really, really awesome. Same thing with the Acacia Country Paracon. We had a blast. And see, Connie says she's already got tickets for next year. So And the goal is that we will be there too. So do you do this is the first time I've seen you at a Paracon, Sarah. So do you do them often or no?
I do. I'm just, this year I wasn't asked out to very many, but if I'm asked, I love to go. I absolutely love going to them. It's a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, I've so far I've been to, we've kind of set like a bunch this year to just kind of hit it, right? And it's been an absolute blast. And Sarah, I hate to tell you this, but you're kind of in the gang now, so just be ready to do more of these with us, okay? Is gonna happen. Yes. Oh my God. Oh, we can all get matching turtles.
Are we tattooing?
Oh no, I meant like the real thing, but a tattoo's better. A tattoo's better. That's a better idea.
I think we need the
thought he was
goat.
talking tattoo as well, but I should have known he was talking about like 15
We need
tortoises
the goat.
each.
Okay. Speaking of tattoos, Marilyn, I know you've got a bunch of tattoos. You've got tattoos, right, Sarah?
Covered, yeah.
I have absolutely goose egg, but this man right here takes the cake. He legit has a tramp stamp.
Oh, see, you had to go there.
I did. I went there.
When I was in the Navy, I needed something to protect my ass. So I did it.
And I'm not laughing.
I thought that brought more attention to it instead of protecting it.
You know what? It might have. I didn't really think it out. I was only 18.
Well, that's the thing is that your tattoo, it says stop looking, right?
Well, it doesn't say please go.
Yeah.
It says,
It says no touching. Bad touch. Gypsy Witch says, I have middle of the back tattoo, Phil. We can stand in solidarity. And I think, yep, Annie Waters says tribe, LOL, OMG. So yeah, I don't have a tattoo.
I expected an OMG or two. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Yeah.
I've talked a lot about getting a tattoo, but I've always been like, man, I need to do something like, it needs to be something like significant, right? Like I have to have like a milestone that I'm like, okay, now is a good time to get a tattoo. But then I'm
I
like,
have a tattoo gun. I'll bring it to Vegas.
you have a what?
I've done a couple tattoos, so I'll bring mine to Vegas.
Well, I just told you to make a sketch of a helicopter, but instead of blades to use dildos instead. So I can make a bumper sticker that says my other ride is a helicopter.
Helicopter?
That's not going to be your tattoo.
That would be a bad tattoo?
That's
No?
yeah. I'm here to help. That's a no.
Thank
Okay.
you,
Well,
Sarah.
where were you when I was 18?
Sorry.
Right? I should get a tattoo of a scooter. You know what's funny about that? I'm trying to look into learning about electronic unicycles now. They look really fun.
Ooh, that's balance.
That's a lot about, well, I used to have pretty good balance. I taught martial arts for 10 years. I was a personal trainer for 15 years. So I'm really interested in them, and it's supposed to help your core, which is an issue of mine because I've got a bad back. The falling part is going to suck because it turns out gravity's a bitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Josh is saying that he's probably going to get another tattoo in Gettysburg. Josh, I'll go get one with you.
Yeah, maybe.
I may second that, actually.
Yeah, if I can
That'd be
convince
fun. That'd be great.
my wife. You know what we could do? We could all get like one ingredient of a hamburger.
And then we get
No,
together
I
and layer it.
Yeah.
Hamburger in
Like
weeks.
Wonder Twin powers activate, you know?
Nice.
Not gonna happen.
And then we can put it on the finger, and that way, you just stack it. And then
There
put
you
the bun
go.
on top.
Oh, that's
Perfect.
That would be cute.
So Sarah,
yes.
back to the series. You guys are so immature. Have you ever had the opportunity to work with like Shane or Dave Schrader or Aaron Sagers?
Well, I've been with Shane at many Paracons. We
Esther, we got him.
work together. Dave Schrader and I'm actually headed to the Palmer House
Oh,
next weekend to work with Dave Schrader. And that's a great location. So I'm excited to be going back there.
Have you heard about this place in Colorado Springs? So it was a mortuary, a funeral home, and what had happened was they had touted that they were a all-natural, eco-friendly form of burial,
Okay.
but that's not what they were doing. What they wound up getting arrested because it turns out they found over 200 bodies inside the mortuary, in the home, just laying there,
Right?
just decomposing, festering. So they were taking people's money, telling them they were doing all this stuff, and then just left the bodies to liquefaction.
Wow.
They left them in the
That's a
limo.
really good idea. We should do that.
That's what we were talking about, is trying
Wait,
to see if we
you
can.
talking?
Oh, did we lose Mike?
I think we lost
I
Mike.
think you dumped him.
He kind of got a scared look on his face.
And he was stumped.
Yep. Yeah, he'll log back in. So yeah, that's what we were talking about, to see if we can talk to them about going in and do an investigation there. There's got to be some kind of energies there because of
Without
that.
a doubt. Without
Yeah.
a doubt.
I think he's back in.
It just booted me for some reason.
Nope, he's not back in yet.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, he
Nope.
cometh and he goeth.
And you're back.
There we ta-da!
He just wanted to shuffle the squares.
And for my next trick, but wouldn't that be really awesome? Look, I don't know where you guys talk. When I would love to, because those people got to be pissed.
Yeah, without a doubt.
They have got to be to their last nerve. And what's really crazy, and this is where it gets extra nuts. That's not the only funeral home to do that. Recently, another one got busted
Really?
Wow.
in Colorado.
What?
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on in Colorado. Also, this is another weird thing with Colorado Springs. Just outside of that is a town called Hooper, which is apparently part of the UFO highway. It's like one of the most active alien locations in America.
Wow.
Yeah, they say it's so common there that every person you talk to practically has had some type of alien encounter.
That'd be amazing. That would be amazing to talk to them, get in their energy, and I would love to get inside their brains and see what they saw.
Yeah, literally.
Then let's plan a trip and we'll go.
That would be amazing.
Yes.
Puts the lotion on its skin.
That's scary.
So what's interesting about that is, so are any of you guys worried about being abducted by aliens?
Yes.
Not at all.
Yes.
I'm not worried about it. No.
Yes.
So what is it that would worry you?
I out of all things paranormal, the thing I'm most scared about is aliens, abduction. I've actually seen two crafts before, and I even talking about it makes me, I can't.
Anxious?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I would be totally cool. Oh, Joshua says, I'm currently pulling up the footage of me and a policeman on the scooter with the flashing lights that I put on it, which is hilarious. So this is what's interesting to me is I would have no problems being abducted. None. I mean, I get to hang out with aliens.
He wants to be probed.
I wouldn't. That's the thing. You know what? If they're like, because a lot of people are like, oh, they probed me. It was who cares? I don't care. You want to probe me? It's fine. Just at least talk to me first. You know what I mean? Let me know what you're doing. Maybe why? Buy me some dinner. Throw a little jelly in there. You know what I mean? Check my prostate at least. I'm 40. I should probably have that done. You know what I mean? I'm at that point where I have no shame anymore. If you're gonna probe me, just probe me, man. That's fine. It's cool. But let's at least talk and chat and have a good time. Maybe we could play Risk or Uno. You know?
I don't know. I don't know if anybody's talked about that during an abduction that they played
You
Uno.
look like you are terrified.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, the thing. Oh, the
It would
things
be a fun road trip, man.
yeah.
See, but I would be okay. And you know what's funny is I always talk about what is the pinnacle of, like, what is your ultimate, like, wow, this is my ultimate end goal for diving into the paranormal. You know, this is my ultimate proof that this is what I'm after. Do
Okay.
you have like that moment, that piece that you're striving towards? Like for me, it's I would be okay being sexually molested by a female Bigfoot.
By a female Bigfoot.
Yeah, I would be okay with that. To me, would be like the pinnacle, like irrefutable evidence. I've reached the top of my craft. If I get diddled by a female Bigfoot, if it's a male Bigfoot, that would be a little awkward.
They talk
So
about.
Karen
I mean,
was asking.
that's not something that they talk about happening. So,
What?
I mean,
But it's gonna
911,
happen.
you better learn how to run.
But they got to be sexual creatures, right? Hello. Right?
And I mean, that I don't know.
It's weird.
I don't know either.
But do you have like? Oh, go
On our
ahead.
TV show, are we going to do haunted places only, or are we doing stuff like UFO and Bigfoot? So we are doing a Bigfoot convention in June, and we are looking for a UFO location as well. So,
Oh,
But
wow.
we will be filming in Alabama in June,
Yep.
going Bigfoot hunting, and I'm very excited. It's going to
The
be
UFO
absolutely
location
miserable.
should be the Skinwalker Ranch area.
yep.
Yeah, we actually got an offer to visit someplace. I can't remember. I can't
It's in
remember
Oklahoma.
where. It might have been. Was it in Applebee's?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of weird things in an Applebee's, so that would make sense to me.
I love Apple.
She's a Chili's lady. You guys are about to fight.
Well, I like Applebee's too, but Chili's will be my first choice.
Sorry about that. Marilyn, all this talk about paranormal. Our doorbell camera just went off, showing someone was at the door, and there's not a soul there. Pretty cool. It just happened during the live. Way to go, Melissa. That's pretty dope.
Well,
Or
their house is haunted.
Wow.
I've actually been there. It's like a portal that goes through their house, and they're right across the street from two cemeteries.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, they've
was-
definitely got a portal there.
I was going to say they might want to look down because it could have been a midget. You don't know, right?
That's possible too.
And he could have just been selling candy, and you just shut the door on him, and now he's sad and crying in the rain. I don't know. It's possible, right?
Sarah's like, "What did I get myself into?"
Okay, so we've covered some of those bases. Now I think we've done a pretty good job with that.
Yes.
When you do your psychic impressions, or when you go and you read a location, do you like it when you have paranormal investigators there with equipment, or does the equipment kind of get in the way?
I think it's cool to have equipment, and it's cool to have other people on your team that think differently than you do. So for me as a psychic medium, I like what I do, but I don't question what I do. That's why paranormal investigators are so awesome, is because they want to know facts. They want proof. They need, this equipment to go off and to do its, due diligence. So I think it's kind of cool when I get something, and then, you have a piece of equipment that says, yeah, something's going on. It's interesting.
It validates.
So this is a pretty standard question, but to me, I think it's pretty profound.
Okay.
Do you believe in life after death?
Do I believe in life after death? Do I believe we go on?
Do you believe we go on? Do you believe that we go to a heaven, a hell, a limbo? Do you believe that we're reincarnated?
Yes.
Do you believe that we return as a Volkswagen bus? I don't know. Hold on a second.
Everything but the Volkswagen bus.
He just took off.
I thought my wife was at the door, and I didn't want to leave her locked out because I have the key. Sorry.
So she said everything but the Volkswagen bus.
Yes, I believe in everything except the Volkswagen bus. Yes, absolutely.
So do you believe? So the follow-up question is: do you believe that when you do pass, that you have a choice of all of the above?
Yes.
So you think so, or is it like a wheel, like a roulette? Like you don't know what you're going to get, or do you think that you have the power to choose?
I absolutely believe that we have the power to choose.
So let me ask. This is my follow up to that.
Okay.
Do you believe someone that passes in a maybe a sad or complex or apathetic state may not feel like they deserve the ability to choose?
Yes. And I believe that's why we end up with spirits that are still tied to this planet because if they move on, then they're going to hell. And they're terrified that if they they stay because they had to make a decision in their mind's eye that they hold on to, that they grip onto, that earths them. So they're earthed to this plane by that thought. And again, like when we get connected to something that we really love and people are like, oh, this thing is haunted, I would say, no, this thing has a lot of energy on it, right? So when someone has a thought, let's say someone had to sell themselves to get food and they knew that they were going to go to hell if and when they crossed over, but they had to survive. You know, a lot of times I think us mediums come into these situations and help those through to the other side in their choice, always with their choice, but because of thoughts or belief systems that tie them.
So Sarah, Heather's asking, do you have any idea of who you were in a past life?
Yes, my wife has given me a hall pass to the female Bigfoot. For those that were asking.
Your wife has.
Yeah, so I'm not supposed to enjoy it. That's the, you know.
The clause.
That's the clause, yeah. Yeah.
So Sarah, your past life.
So yes, so I do believe that I've lived different lives, and you know, really honestly, it's kind of boring. There's nothing really exciting. I could make something up, but honestly, I've lived different lives as different energies, but nothing too exciting.
Phil, do you have any reminiscences of a past life, perchance?
Absolutely not. None.
That makes sense. See, for me, it's difficult because it's hard to say. I guess the issue for me is why can't we remember, right? And why is it we can only, and the people that say they can remember, why is it they can only remember snippets and not a whole life? Like for me now, I can remember my life since pretty much the time of birth. You know, I have memories, right? So for me, I guess remembering is easy to that degree, but I can't remember, you know, I don't know my name. If I lived past lives, and I have like images of things that I think that could have easily been from a past life, but you know, I don't know my name. I don't know what my favorite color was then. I couldn't tell you if I was male or female. I mean, do you think something happens that's traumatizing when you shift into a new body then?
Maybe fragments. So the idea that when I connect to a spirit, I'm connecting to one piece of the carpet, right? So one strand, versus people think I'm connecting to the entire beautiful living room carpet. Like I'm talking to that. I am talking to a strand. So I would suggest that we take some of those with us when we come, and we take pieces and segments of that versus the whole thing.
Well, and that's where I think on that is like you taking those strands is like, for me, it's fear of heights. So, you know, so it's something in a past life. I know that I actually went off a bridge and in the water. So I have a fear of driving off a bridge, of driving off a mountain, you know, so that's a little bit of a fragment that I brought into this life. And I think that's where even people with, like, if you do collections and stuff like that, I collect swords. That was a past life because I had swords in a past life. So I think those affect your life now.
And Michael Angus is, you know, was deja vu an example of maybe experiencing something similar in a past life that you're experiencing now in your current life?
Well, that's an interesting idea. I think I look at deja vu a little bit different, but it is that, sense of something familiar and or a hiccup.
Kind of like the Matrix. Like when,
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds kind of silly, but when they're like, up, yeah, there was a hiccup in the screen.
Yeah.
I experience deja vu maybe 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult to try to understand and put stuff together when you actually realize that it is deja vu.
Yeah.
So the other key to this is, some people are, prodigies playing the piano, right? Or mathematicians, and that easily could be from a past life. And if that's the case, I don't know what I have been doing for thousands of years other than being a lazy ass, because I have no skill. None. Oh, I can do this.
Whoa.
Yeah. So maybe I don't know, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have like that. Some people get like these prodigy skills. I mean, do you think that is from a past life as well? Or do you think that's just
So
something?
Mike, your skill is people skills, and you've got the charismatic. That is something that I think you have brought through many lives. Sorry, Sarah, go ahead.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. I believe that. I could have just been, a talker, or maybe I sold vacuums. I don't know.
I'm a jester for the king.
That sounds about right. So this is one of my thoughts, and this is nothing more than this is a theory. It's just a hypothesis, and that is, and Marilyn, we talked about this a little bit. That I thought, well, maybe, just maybe, there's this chance that, like, so here we are as a body, and this is. Let me explain how I kind of got to this hypothesis. Let's go back to Egyptian times. Let's go back to 1000 BC.
Okay.
How many people were in the world?
Okay.
There was maybe 2 billion. Okay, we have 8 now. So that was my key that makes me think, okay, well, was there like a waiting list for Earth? You know what I mean? Like, how does that happen? So only 2 billion people could have been reincarnated from that time, right? Because that's it. It's all the bodies there were.
If you think about it being the whole carpet, yes.
So, right. So my thought was, well, maybe what if we have our, prime material plane, right? And then just above it is this plane that's literally like an ocean of consciousness. And when a body is born, I think of it like a ladle that kind of dips in and drops it into a body, right? And then when a body dies, that water is just returned to that pool with all of its new memories, all of its new skills, everything goes right in there. All of its evil tendencies, all of its misguidedness, everything goes in there, right? So when you get that scoop, you don't really know what you're going to get. So which could explain why you would only remember snippets of a past life, why you might be good at playing the piano, but maybe you're not good at speaking French like Mozart was. It might.
Sorry, did Krista make it in?
Yes.
Okay, because I was going to say, I see a shadow that keep popping up behind you.
Do you want to see her gorgeous hair? She just had her hair done.
Oh.
Come show your hair.
Hi. Pretty. Hi.
Oh.
So what do you think of that as a possibility?
I think it's definitely a possibility. I mean, it sounds really thought out. And I think it's really interesting. And it does kind of tie in with the way I think. So I think it's really cool.
Well, I think we'll explore that more. Maybe that's something that needs to be explored. And I know for me, it's difficult for people to tell if I'm telling the truth or if I'm lying, or if I'm playing around. But I do occasionally have these actual thoughts, and that is one of them.
No, it's great. It's really cool.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Phil?
I personally don't believe in reincarnation. I I kind of think that when we go, and just like what Sarah said, like I think you kind of have a choice if you want to stay back or if you want to go ahead and proceed. And there's also those that are confused or scared or didn't know or maybe stuck. But as far as reincarnation, I think it's YOLO, baby. I think you got to do it right the first time, because you only get one chance.
So it's a
YOLO.
challenge accepted. We're going to have to change his mind.
But
See,
you've changed my mind before.
This is the thing, is that if you only get one chance, and then let's say you get shot up to heaven. Heaven is known as the Silver City, right? Everybody's aware
I
of
guess if you believe in that, yes.
terminology, the Silver City, right? That city would be so fucking crowded. Do you realize how many people have died? Billions upon billions upon billions. You'd be waiting an hour just for the bus. Be crazy, right? So there has to be something more. There has to be something more. I just can't believe that that's all there is. That you spend 70 years. And let's go back even earlier. If you go back to like the 1500s, you had 30 years. And so it's hard to believe that you only had 30 years of consciousness, of being aware, to then just let it pass, to go to heaven for eternity. I mean, can you imagine spending eternity in medieval Europe? Right? Oh, seriously, because that would be your thought. That would be your thought.
Kind of,
Right? And I mean, what would you celebrate? I didn't get dysentery this year. Huzzah! I'm just saying. So to me, there has to be something more. I think there's unequivocal evidence to suggest that there has to be something more. And you were talking about looking at the fabric and looking at a piece, not the whole thing. So, and I had mentioned, there's only 2 billion people on the planet. There's 8 billion now. Where the hell they all come from? If we're all reincarnated. And this is a huge question then. Do you believe that aliens exist?
Yes.
And if so, and I believe there is absolutely a 100% certainty that they exist. There's absolutely no way that they can't, right? Yeah. Just based on statistics alone, just based on the mathematics, okay? If you look at that, then who's to say that you originated at Earth?
Yeah.
Who's to say
we did? I actually believe something of the Prometheus movie.
And who's to say? Because, so, for example, you're psychic. You're psychic. That's not a human trait, right? That's not an apian trait, right? That's not a Homo sapien trait that they're known for. Who's to say that's not from a past life that could have been passed down from when you were something else?
That is a thought. That is a thought that I've heard of before. Yeah. And yeah, that's a thought. That absolutely is a thought. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just putting that out there. Hybrid humans from aliens. The possibilities are endless. And I've heard theories too that Earth is more akin to a prison-like planet than it is a utopia. That people are sent here for things that they may have done wrong, for wrongdoings. If you think of it that way and you can't remember, that could be part of your sentence. You pass, wow. You go, they wipe you clean and say your sentence isn't done yet. Go back down.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Right?
I think you stumped her.
And you're not all jokes.
I know.
He can get deep.
Yeah.
The craziness of it all. So that's my own personal little rant.
Sleep tonight. I'm going to be up thinking about all this all night long now.
Yeah. So that. So let's see. We got some comments. Connie says, "I had a spiritual teacher explain to me we have one big soul up in heaven or wherever. She's like, or wherever. When we reincarnate, it's just a piece of the whole soul that returns. There could even be more than one piece out there at a time. But then where's the rest of it go, right? I mean, I don't know. Where does it go? Phil, those witchy roots come from somewhere, sir, says Gypsy Witch. And then Heather, Vicious Vixen Rybel, says, I believe in celestial beings, if that is considered aliens. Well, I mean, an alien, I guess it's kind of a layman's term for anything that is not of Earth, right? It is kind of how we're using it. So a celestial being, absolutely. I mean, it's hard to say that. It's the same thing with godhood, right? God's whole thing is, we are created in his image. That being the case, I believe that what God is known for is creation. So if we're created in his image, that means that we too have the ability to create, which we do. We create children, we create memories, we create laughter, we create bad times for ourselves, we create problems. So I mean, maybe in a way, it's a lesson for us to be learned, and maybe it is like a prison planet, and for some reason, we have to learn from the beginning again. We have to start creating small before we can learn how to create big again. I don't know.
I like that.
So what were the pyramids used for?
Anal probing.
Not you, sir.
Oh.
Immediately goes there.
And we're out.
Do you feel like the pyramids were maybe like generators, or were they just cool landmarks?
No, I think that there's a lot more to be said about, that's a whole nother show, but that there's a lot to be said about the pyramids. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep.
And they found pyramids now, like almost in every continent?
Yes, and under the sea.
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah.
In fact, I think one of the biggest pyramids was from 1930. It was called the Ponzi scheme. Never mind, that was different.
Yeah, it was upside down.
Yeah, what was I thinking?
Totally different.
Like I've been explaining the realm of there being multiple versions of our soul, some higher than others, and different aspects that help guide us on these journeys. See, and this is where it's difficult, because I feel like there is so much of the blind leading the blind, right? So I feel like you're going to believe whatever it is you kind of really want to believe, whether it be true or not. You're going to do everything in your power to make it true, right? I think we do that with monsters under the bed. I think we do that when we paranormal investigate. I think we manifest as much as we do find things that are real, right? I mean, Karen Huntley, she's doing a show in July. We're going to the WashoCon coming up in a couple of weeks, but she'll be there in Virginia and we'll be guests. But one of the things that we're going to talk about is how learning the factual information of a location is very important, because it can kind of determine and set the path for your investigation. If you have a nugget of myth, right? It's just like putting a rock in a river. It's going to alter. It's going to change the direction of your investigation. And I think it's the same thing when you try to delve into a lot of these spiritual teachings and guidance. Whether it's rooted in factual information, or what you consider factual information, or whether it's mumbo jumbo. It really doesn't matter. It's whatever you decide to absorb. It's going to change your river, right?
So, Sarah, when you do investigations, do you actually find out the history, or do you go in blind?
No, always blind. 110%. Absolutely
Yep.
No information whatsoever. No.
Yep.
But guys, I got to jump because I have to go and teach my class. So thank you with all my heart for having me. Please have me back again. This was so much fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. But we do want to talk to you. We have
call us back later when you're all done.
Okay, guys. Sending light and love. Right. Take care of yourselves.
Thank you. Enjoy your class.
Canadian Paranormal Investigations. Hey, everyone.
Oh.
And Matthew says he would eat aliens.
Definitely. Why would you not? Deer meat's fantastic. Why would alien meat be any different?
I always feel like
outside
aliens
of Las
would be.
Vegas, you could get alien jerky. I've seen it.
That's true. I always feel like aliens would be more akin to like octopus for some reason.
Definitely chewy. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Definitely chewy.
Let's talk about what we've got going on, Marilyn.
All right. So I can actually run the advertisement to show what we've got coming up.
Do it.
All right. If I can find it.
Never mind.
Actually, I'll show our merchandise, and I think it has our thing on there. So hold on.
If you are going to be at the WashOCon in Virginia City, give a shout out so we know. I'm excited to meet everybody.
So
and if you are going, we are going to be, it will be the unveiling of our brand new TV show trailer. And we're really excited for anybody who's going to be there to see it. You'll be the very first people to see it. It is not fart spray, unfortunately, Matt.
It can help cover up fart, but it's not a fart spray.
But I do know a guy. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't have the events as far as that goes, but what we're doing is what we've got coming up is, again, coming into the Washoe Club, or the WashOCon. We're doing that on the 8th. Let me just pull this up. So keep talking.
The Washoe Club, I think, is the 12th to the 14th, I think, or 12th and the 13th, something like that. And if you've never been to Virginia City, literally, it's like Deadwood's twinned. It is the town that time forgot. It is incredible. Tracy says, "Hello, boo bitches! Paranormal event to support DV and SA survivors. What up? Say hi to Henry Comstock, my great uncle. Kim, that is dope. If he is your great uncle, we will say hello to him. We do plan on visiting some places that may actually connect to the Comstock mines, so that's pretty cool. The history is nuts. So go ahead."
So we do have the Washoe. So in May, we're not doing anything because we have the Gold Rush that we're doing. In June, we're going to be at the Alabama Bigfoot Conference, and we are a sponsor there, and we will have a vendor table, and we're also filming. So this is going to be, it's June 8th.
Okay, nice.
And then July 12th through the 14th, we will have the Magical History Weekend at the Piper's Opera House in Virginia City again. So we are guest speakers there, and we'll also have a vendor table.
Yes.
And then after that, we're going July 26th through the 28th to Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. We're a sponsor and a vendor there, and we'll also be filming our final episode at that location.
Correct.
And then our last one that we have scheduled for this year is August 22nd through the 24th. We will be at the Michigan Paracon as a sponsor. So we'll probably be hanging out with Shane and Josh.
That's right. And when does the Paranormal come out? And how can you watch? So right now we are currently still in the process of filming and then post-production. And how you can watch is still to be determined. We are in talks with multiple platforms. So you'll learn more about that as time progresses. But you're going to be really happy when you hear the answer, I assure you. But we will release a trailer when we get to Virginia City, and after it's released in Virginia City, we will release it to the public to start watching. Look for Rhonda Harrison, Michigan. You got it. That'd be fun. All right, I'm down.
With the Para with the Normal, it is not your typical paranormal investigation show. It's going to be totally different.
It is unlike anything you have seen.
Yes. So
I
very
promise.
interesting. So even though we're in it, it's a different take on it, and we just have fun.
And see you, Matt. You got to get Gypsy Witches. You got to get to VC later in the year. That's right. Heather says she can't wait. It's going to be great. Hopefully, knock on the wood. And that's it. That's our show, guys.
Okay.
Thank you so much. You can find Para with the Normal. We are now on. We do have a Para with the Normal Facebook page, so you can find it to follow to get more information as information and details come out about the show. Obviously, you can follow us here at Sidekicks Paranormal. Again, we would like to thank Phil for coming into the fold. He's going to be doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff for us, so it's going to be really, really great to have him on board.
Super excited.
Yeah, and he easily has the largest forehead out of all of us, so that's good too.
So we also need to mention our sponsors. We have Josh and Shane with Searchers, and then we also have them. They are actually producing our show with Lights Out Industries. And then we have, of course, Art by Mary Lynn, and then Intuitive Touch World. And then we also have Rex, Art with Rex, and then Gypsy.
Yeah, if you're looking for if you want some great artwork, Art with Rex. The guy is he's brilliant.
And then whenever I do the outro, it'll show all that information on there. And then we also have a new sponsor, and it's the Louisiana, actually the New Orleans Paranormal
Society.
Yes. So, and we'll play the outro.
Yes. Broken